Hi, losers. It's me, not a loser. Oh, yeah. I'm not tired anymore. When I recorded the funny kid test answers video, I was really tired, but not anymore. And now we're making a Jackbox tier list because my previous one was shit. All right, we got the games here, and I am joined today by Amcomics of the
Hello.
Amcomics YouTube channel. I don't know what his YouTube is actually called because I
AM
forgot. AM
Studios.
Studios. There we go. And Steven SDI as well.
President SDI.
President SCI. He also might have a YouTube channel. If they do, I'll link it
Yes,
in
I
the
do. I
descriptions.
uploaded to it. I uploaded a Yakuza video recently.
Yeah, he does have a YouTube. I'm in his Discord. I can post all the things, all their links and stuff, how to reach them if you want to be their friend in the description. But don't do that unless they want to be your friend too. I made
Or you
friends.
will be punched.
Yes, it's truly flattering. Anyway, so this will be working out of a 0 to 10 out of 10 basis. We got the 10 out of 10 games, and we got the 0 out of 10 games. Starting, and we're going to start with You Don't Know Jack 2015. Now, I really like You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm aware that not everyone does, and I'm aware that it's not a great party game since it's only playable with up to 4 people, when Jackbox games are mostly meant to be played with up to 8. But it's better than Lie Swatter for what that's worth. It might not be better than Fibbage XL. I really like that one. But honestly, this has been like my ninth favorite Jackbox game for a really long time, and I really don't see that changing anytime soon. You know what? I really like You Don't Know Jack. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. What are you guys' thoughts on Whitey KJ?
Uh, like a C or B.
I guess C or B. Well, so I'd assume like a 7 to 6 to 5.
Trivia games. I just don't like trivia games in general.
Yeah, I can see
On a
that.
scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say 4 or 5, somewhere in the middle,
Yeah,
but the lower middle, because I agree with you. I don't really like trivia games so much. So
yeah, I
it's
can
not really my
definitely see
cup
that.
of tea. But it still can't deny that this was the first Jackbox game.
Yeah,
So they really had to. They didn't perfect the formula just yet
yeah, and I can
from
see
an
that.
analytical
And I
perspective.
can see where you guys are coming from. Trivia games are not for everyone, and unlike a game like Trivia Murder Party or Fibbage or even Guespionage to an extent, which I do consider a trivia game, even though no one else does, it is a trivia game.
Oh, I remember that game now.
It's a
It
st
technically is when you
it's a
think about it. I
statistics
agree.
it's a statistics trivia game, but You Don't Know Jack is so by the books trivia gamey. It's just a trivia game. It's nothing, no bells or whistles. It's just trivia. So I can
I
definitely
think it was,
see.
Nothing
in
special.
my theory, this game was meant to be like a fake game show.
Yeah, that is definitely what they were going for with the aesthetic. I can definitely see where y'all are coming
Absolutely.
from. And when it comes to party games, I think I might have this one really overrated. But I still really like it. And another reason I like it is because this is one of like two Jackbox games that actually has a pretty decent single player to it. Which I know that is very unexpected from this series, but it is, and I honestly think I give it credit for that alone because that is something that's just not in a lot of them, and I find it fun anyway. Either way,
You are right about that because my main problem with Jackbox
I'll bump
games
it down.
is I don't have any friends to play with most of the time. So
Yeah,
you
that
gotta
is
have
fair.
to get credit for that.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole reason we're not playing any right now because there's only three of us. So, yeah. I'm gonna bump it down to an 8, but I still don't want to bump it to a 7 quite yet. I think 8 out of 10 is pretty fair for it though.
Mm.
All right, Fibbage XL.
Never played
Hmm.
it.
Yeah. Well, you played Fibbage 2, I think, and you played Fibbage 3. I know you played that one. But Fibbage XL. So on its own, I think Fibbage XL is worth like an 8 out of 10. But considering there are two sequels that are just way better than it in every way, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to bump it to a 7 and put it below You
Again,
Don't Know
I
Jack.
would give it a little more credit. I would put it at 8 because personally, it was the first, so it's
Yeah, I could.
obviously not. They haven't perfected it
Yeah,
to formula.
actually, what I'm gonna say is, yeah, I'm kind of judging the game based on its sequels and based on the fact that the other games are better than in every way, and they are. But that's not judging the game as the game.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna keep it
I'm
at an
sorry.
eight.
I'm the critic here.
Yeah,
I've always been that. I've
yeah,
always
I
been
can see.
critically minded. So,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it an eight.
looking at it on its own, yeah, I would put it at 8 out of 10 personally.
It's a bit loud. Hold on. I'm gonna
But
turn down
looking at
that.
its the sequels are definitely top tier better.
The sequels are better. I will say that, but Fibbage is just really good anyway. And so honestly, even with the first installment,
And
I
it's a really unique concept when you think
it's a
about it.
trivia game, but like with lying in it. And you have to make up the trivia answers that are not the correct answer. And it's paced well.
Exactly.
It has a good
It's not
aesthetic.
it's extremely unique idea.
Yeah, and I think this is probably the best trivia game out of the original three in Jackbox One, and probably also the best game in Jackbox One. Drawful, ooh,
10 out of 10 for me. Drawful
Yeah,
is one of the best in my opinion.
8 or
yeah.
9.
So yeah, y'all saying eight. I honestly think there's a lot of eights. Uh,
I say 10.
y'all
Honestly,
say
I
10.
really
Y'all
like
saying
it.
like really high numbers. I don't think it's as good as Fibbage personally, but I will put it an 8 out of 10. I'm actually gonna bump You Don't Know Jack 2015 down to 7 due to it not really fitting the party pack sort of thing. Y'all said it was around 5, 6, or 7. And I think that's pretty fair for it. It's not anything really below that, in my opinion, just because I have a lot of fun with it, but it is just a me thing. All right, Word Spud's a 3 out of 10. Don't at me.
Oh, come on.
Oh, okay, be honest with me. I know you like pretty much every Jackbox game, but on the grand pantheon of Jackbox games, comparing this to every other game that's ever been made, is this really one that sticks out?
I mean, I've never played it, so I can't comment.
Yeah, it's
I'd
honest.
at least put it at a 4.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing with Word Spud is just it is kind of boring, like incredibly so. I think I'm gonna give it a bit more credit than a lot of people. A lot of people would put it in a 0 out of 10 and think it's just filler, and I will agree it is just filler, but it's got at least some merit. You can sometimes make it funny, and you can sometimes make it entertaining, but ultimately it is just kind of a really boring
And
game.
isn't that the point of Jackbox games? To be comedical, to be
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah, but a lot of the time this
I,
one
I
really.
can't grammar.
Yeah, I feel that a lot. But I feel like a lot of the time with Word Spud, it just never reaches the highs a game like Quiplash, a game like even
Surviving the internet.
I've Survived the Internet, even a game like Earwax or even Drawful reaches. There are just so many better options than Word Spud, even
I
within
mean,
its own pack.
and again, also with Drawful, back to Drawful just for a second. I can't draw worth shit, and that sometimes makes it funnier.
Yeah, I can see that because it definitely is. But yeah, Word Spud's just a really boring one. I've always thought of it as like a 3 out of 10, though. It's not the worst thing imaginable, but it is not the best. And Lice Water, I don't like Lice Water.
Come on.
It is like the
You
shortest.
said
It is like
it's
the
not
shortest
super
Jackbox
easy,
game.
Well,
I believe
I
it.
don't. I haven't played it in a long time, so I can't
Yeah.
equate it.
Okay. Well, honestly, again, you like pretty much every Jackbox game you play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you'd probably rate them all pretty high numbers, honestly.
Well, not high, but
Well,
at
yeah.
least like
I mean, you like
I was.
Dome,
This was
so
numbers instead of
honestly,
numbers.
well, yeah. I mean, you like Dome, you like Blather Around, you like Devils,
Yeah.
you like pretty much all the games that people typically don't. And well, I have some unpopular
I
opinions
have a
for
more open
games too.
mindset.
Yeah, I mean, and well, I like at least every game. I'm trying to compare them to one another and put them ranking based on that as well. And in the first party pack, this one really stands out as like just another trivia game. And if you wanted just a trivia game, you play You Don't Know Jack, not Lice
Any
Water.
version of You Don't Know Jack is better than Lice Water. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I am gonna put it in a one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a 0 out of 10 necessarily. There's still some merit. It's a pretty short game and it's relatively harmless.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think any Jackbox game really classifies as a zero tier.
I have a specific game
I know
that
that
I
one.
no, I'm not even talking about that one. I have another specific game that I really,
Yeah,
really
that's
don't
alright.
like. But anyway, yeah,
That's
Lice
fine.
Water's a 1 out of 10. It's not that great. Fibbage
Sure.
2 is better than Fibbage XL by not much, but it's still better, so yeah, 8 out of 10. It's
Pretty
pretty much the same game. But like the
Yeah.
aesthetic has changed and in my opinion made better. There's a new tool called the defibrillator, which makes the gameplay all that more engaging. It's just some small things here and there.
Mhm.
It's not the best game ever, but it's not that well, no, I say that. It's actually really good though. Idiots.
Oh, I forgot what that one
Oh.
was about.
This one's a very mixed game in the community, I think. Some people love it, others hate it. I honestly don't know. It has a lot of strategy that can be employed to it, but it's strategy that can be employed to it, but a lot of the game also comes down to luck, whether or not that strategy is even worth it. It can add to the game, but ultimately, I don't think it really does. I don't like Vidiots all that much, honestly. It's also really poorly paced. I don't know if I'd say it's worse than Words, but there's clearly a lot of effort in there, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Idiots.
put it at 4 personally, but
Yeah,
I
honestly,
would put it
honestly,
at
long enough. I've not played it in a long time, enough time
same.
honestly,
for me
I
to
would put it at a 4 out of 10.
understand really to give a proper critique of it.
Yeah, I can see
Can
that.
you
But I
like
would
I
put
don't
it
even
at a
know which
4.
one that was.
That was Idiots. Or yeah, that one's the auction game where it's like takes an hour to finish.
Yeah,
I
And
don't
that is my
remember.
biggest critique with it. It is so poorly paced, and I don't think it's as bad as Wordsbud or Lice Water, but it is like a 4 out of 10 game for me. All right, Bomb Core. Ooh,
Never played it.
I like Bomb Core. I really like Bomb Core. I think this is one of the most
I've never played
underrated.
Encore either, so the stage is yours,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah. I think that Bomb Core is
I
one of the
don't
most
even know that
underrated.
game.
It's it's got like one. I think I should just say, just like you don't know Jack 2015. This is one of the two Jackbox games. The other being that one that has like an actually really good single player experience, which I think is worth a lot ultimately. Not only that, but Bomb Core is honestly just a really fun game as well. There's basically you follow a bunch of rules to defuse bombs, open doors, other things, and if you fail to follow those rules when doing the things explode. It is actually really good, though. And it's a really fun time, and I think the writing is also something I have to give it credit for. Most Jackbox games I can't really do that for, but this one I can because it actually has really good writing from the characters in the game. Because this game has a proper story. Really good time, honestly. I think a lot of people are gonna disagree with me here. 9 out of 10 though.
Well, I can't say anything.
I mean, you two can't say anything. You've never played it, but yeah, I honestly really like Boncore. We got to play that sometime. It can be chaotic, but
Ooh,
I think it strikes a balance where it never gets too hectic or chaotic. So yeah, I think it's fine. Earwax.
that one's pretty good.
Yeah, that one's all
It's
right. It's
decent.
not like the
Say it.
best. It's not the best, and I think the other fill in the blank games are a lot better than it. But yeah, honestly, it's a 5 out of 10 for me.
Mm.
Quiplash XL. Okay, yeah, no questions. No
What?
questions
Come
there.
on.
Okay, maybe not 10 out of 10 actually. This is the best Quiplash.
I would say that's an easy 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I know a
Don't get
lot
me
of people
started
do.
on
Okay.
Quick Laugh because I could go on and on. I just
Yeah,
love that game so
I
much.
understand. It is it
I
in
like
terms
the
of
other ones more.
I I do too. Well, I like Quiplash 2 more than XL in terms of extra features. But in my opinion, the Quiplashes will never be a 10 out of 10 just because all three of them have things I prefer to the others, and there's no singular Quiplash that unifies all of the things together to make it the best one. And so for that, I think XL is my favorite in terms of core gameplay, so I will give that one also a 9 out of 10.
Sure.
And not necessarily a 10. It is still one of the best Jackbox games, though. Super balanced game as well. I feel like I might have a. No, no. I think Boncore is still one of the best. Quiplash 2. Okay, yeah, but like this one is my favorite.
You say you enjoy
Uh,
Quiplash 2 more Is
I
that correct?
I do, but not in terms of the final round. In terms of the final round, I think it's worse than the first.
What's the
Uh,
final round for Quiplash 2?
it's the Acrolash, Word Lash, and Comic Lash.
What do you mean? Those are fun.
They are, but like not as good as just a standard quip.
Mm.
Word Lash honestly is the closest to just a standard quip, but it's not really that great. Comic Lash is all right, right, but it would be better if you could see the responses in the comic bubble. And Acrolash isn't great, honestly. Decrypting an acronym is just not fun. Anytime we would have an acronym
I don't
activity
know.
in school,
I don't remember that one.
yeah, it's where you have a three-letter acronym and you have to make up or three letters
Oh,
and you have to make up
that
an
was
acronym.
my favorite one.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah, that
whenever
one's really good.
whenever we had acronym activities in school, I did not like it. I never liked making acronyms. Yeah, I'll just give this one a 9 out of 10 as well. I want to give it a 10. So you know what? Actually, I want to give this one a 10 because it has the custom prompt mode as well. So
Sure.
you know what? I'll give it a 10. I know Quiplash 3 also has the custom prompt mode, but somehow I hate Thriplash even more than I hate the final round here. The final round of Quiplash 2 is just kind of okay, pretty decent. The final round of Quiplash 3 isn't great in my opinion. I'll get to why I don't like Quiplash 3. Trivia Murder Party. That's also like an 8,
Yeah.
honestly. That is I think it's a little poorly paced.
What do you mean?
It's just a me thing. I think it's just a me thing, but I think the game is a little poorly paced, just to me. Uh, it feels a little slow. So the final round also isn't the best in terms of actual gameplay. It's not as bad as the sequel's final round, but it's not my favorite. I think I just prefer the regular rounds with the mini games. But still, Trivia Murder Party is like an 8 out of 10, and its sequel is so similar to it. So you know what? I'll go ahead and get my critiques of the sequel out of the way as well. Final
Oh,
round is
Gesundheit.
oh sorry. Final round is slightly worse. That's it. It's just slightly worse. The aesthetic is kind of better, but both are it's pretty much the same game. If you played one, you played the other. They're not very different.
I never played the second one.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same game. So you played it if you played the first one. Gaspionage. Mm.
9 for me.
Huh?
I'd put that with like earwax.
Yeah, I think I'd put it at a 5 out of 10. It has a really good final round that fits the core gameplay well. The core gameplay is just not too interesting, but it is fairly fast, and I think the aesthetic, the voices, all of that makes it pretty good.
I think that gets me on just way too fast. Like it ends too quickly.
It'll
Because
end
I
quicker
don't
if
see
you
that
have
really
three
as a
people.
problem when you can just boot it right back up.
Yeah, that is definitely something. I think that is the type of game that can. I think Gaspionage is just the kind of game that can end pretty quickly and still be satisfying. Unlike games like Lice Water, where it isn't really. Really, I just don't like. I don't know.
Don't get you started on lice water.
Just don't get started on Lice Water. Yeah, but Gaspionage is still all right. I think yeah, 5 out of 10. Now TKO for the longest
10?
time, yes, we're putting it in 10 out of 10. Was my favorite Jackbox game. I say was because it might have competition.
Mm.
Well, I'm not sure, but like, I'm not entirely sure. I still think it might be my favorite. But yeah, it has always been my favorite. It's just like
Well, it's
it
not.
is.
It's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite.
Yeah,
I would honestly put it at 10 myself.
yeah. I think everyone agrees that TKO is just a really fun time. It is flawed. The scoring
Yeah.
system in general is flawed. Job I think did the whole thing. I think Job is actually very similar to TKO in a
It is
sense,
when you think about it.
where you're using other people's work as your own. But in that game, other people get credited for the work. But in this game, they don't. And that would honestly make this just so much better if there was a proper scoring system. But as it stands, it's still really good. It is probably my favorite, and faking it.
Mm.
Never played Faking
Faking
It
it.
personally.
Faking it gets a bad rap.
That one's kind of hard to play.
That is, and I will say it is. But when we have a Discord chat, we can play it with a Discord chat, and honestly, while it's hard to play sometimes, it's still really fun to me. I don't know. I really like faking it. I don't know if I'd say I'd say I think a 7 out of 10. Wow, that is our Party Pack 3 bias is showing. No, I'm joking. I really like Party Pack 3 though. It is my favorite. Babbage 3 is a 10 out of 10. Don't
Best
even
one.
question it. This
Yeah.
might be the best Jackbox game of all
Best one.
time.
Absolutely, I agree.
This
Favorite aesthetic.
this might be the best Jackbox game of all time, honestly. I don't know if I prefer it to
It's a
TKO.
it's a strong contender.
It is honestly, if it was just Fibbage 3, it would still be a 10 out of 10. But it pushes it even further by having Fibbage Enough About You. I love Fibbage Enough About You.
Which one was that again?
That's the one where it's like Fibbage, but the questions aren't about trivia, but they're about you,
Oh,
yourself. And that is,
that's
it's
pretty
so fun, yeah.
fun.
Survive the internet.
It's a great way to get to know someone, honestly.
So the real question
That's
is,
like a
Survive the internet better than Quiplash 2?
I'd say
Uh,
yes.
I'd say no.
I'm not sure on that one, because, yeah, Survive the Internet can be more funny, but in my opinion, the biggest issue with it is, well, A, the fact that it's all based on prompts that other people are providing you. Meaning if you get provided like a one-word prompt that you can do nothing with, you're kind of screwed that round.
Mm.
It really kind of
I
depends.
will give you that, but
If
I think that's part of the challenge of it. I really don't
yeah,
see that as I
I
see that more as a challenge and more not as a flaw in the
yeah,
final experience.
I see it as a negative, but can see why people like it, and I can see why people just like Survive the Internet in general. I still think it's really good. Would I give it a 9 though? What is it? 9 out of 10 good or is it 8 out of 10 good?
I think it's 9 out of 10. I think
9.
it's 10 out of 10 good, honestly.
I say
I
9.
I'd say either high 8, low 9. So we're gonna just put it in a 9. Monster
Sure.
Seeking Monster.
8.
I've had
Uh,
some fun with that one.
this
That
is
that one's the most boring to me.
this one's the
Really,
sexting game.
I've had a lot of fun with Monster. Just chatting with people.
Yeah,
The
it is.
chatting
There's a
concept.
lot
Oh
of
my god,
strategy.
it can just like you don't even have to chat about romance. You can pretend to
There's a lot of
romance people and you
strategy,
can just
but
talk around and it's amazing.
yeah, I honestly think that this is a great game, but there are some things holding it back. There's a fair bit holding this game back from truly being like an 8 out of 10. I think it's still really good. But one of my main problems is I'm never able to play it anywhere outside of Discord. You try playing this game with your family. Let's see how it goes. That's one of my main critiques because
BRB monkey.
we're not in Alabama.
Oh,
We're
it's
in
so
Georgia.
awkward now that I think about it.
Yeah, we never play this one. We have never played this one. This will be the only Jackbox game we never play. Well, not the only one. We'll never play Blather Around, but that's just because I have a bias towards it.
That's like the Jackbox equivalent of fucking Sweet Home Alabama.
It's just Alabama the game.
Alabama the game if you play it with your family.
And also, if you're playing in a group where like it's a group of any of mixed age ranges, like anyone under 13,
Like anyone under 13 and like if the genders are not like if it's all this like if it's like a girls' night or a boys' night,
I
it's
mean
kind of weird to play it
that
unless
that could be weird
unless
unless
they're
they're.
all gay or something.
I mean, it
Which is
wouldn't be
nothing
weird to
wrong
me.
with that. I'm just saying like
Yeah,
as a concept, it doesn't work
yeah,
on
yeah.
certain
There are a lot of issues with just playing Monster Seeking Monster, but when you actually do play it, the game is good.
it's just timing.
It's just
On
timing, and
who
it
you
kind of
play it
depends
and
on
who you
who
play
you're
it
playing
with.
with. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of a big thing with this game. It can be super awkward if you do that. And that kind of sucks because I really like this game, but I have a
Now,
lot
I
of
think it's
issues with it.
perfect if you have like a double date night or something like that.
Yeah.
But like you said, if you're playing it with your family or
Yeah,
something,
that
that's
doesn't
like
really work.
that
And
doesn't
also
work.
the parents will have an automatic advantage if there's two of them.
Exactly.
I say if there's two of them, but there are single parents, so yeah. Bracketeering. Ooh.
I've
Bracket.
never actually played that one. I've heard good things about it though.
Yeah, really? I think it's like a 4 out of 10.
You say 4?
I
I've
think it's
never
like a
played it.
4
I
out of 10.
can't tell you.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's like Quiplash.
So what
Bracketeering.
have you guys done?
we're on bracketeering. Bracketeering is like Quiplash, but it's comedy, but not as good. There's less
It's
prompts, and it's
alright.
made to accumulate more players. It's a very
Yeah, like
situational game where if you get a full squad of 16 people who are all your friends, then it's pretty good. But who has ever done that? It's honestly,
like a
honestly, I
fine.
think my problem with a
Concept just
bracketeering,
doesn't work.
honestly, I think my problem with bracketeering is really the fact that it is a bracket. It's like Quiplash prompts, but they're a bracket now. That doesn't work. Quiplash prompts pride themselves on the shock value, and that goes away if you see the same answer multiple times.
Yeah, like I've never played it, but when you put it like that, if this game is
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of,
No, it
yeah,
probably
it
is.
would make
Yeah.
sense because the whole point of Cliplash is just kind of like the shock
Yeah. There
shit.
is like the blind brackets where the humor has to be used in different ways, but you're still looking at the same answers, and it's really just not as good. Even when you're playing with a full squad of 16, I can't imagine it's as good as a game like Cliplash.
The shock goes away when you see it multiple times.
Yeah.
When you
Civic.
see something coming, you know what to expect.
Now, Amcomics knows that I am not a huge fan of Civic Doodle, and I'm not.
It's alright.
I am not a huge fan of this one. There are just so many issues with it. I mean, honestly, my biggest issue is really has an issue is the issue with when people use the canvas, they decide to use the entire canvas, which doesn't work because other people have to add to that canvas. And in the final round, when it tells you to draw a specific body part, there's a specific person who you may know who likes to draw the entire face the whole time. And like half
Oh,
the people do that in that round, which makes it just not work as well. It's just a lot of the fact that it has rules, but no one ever listens to the rules, and it makes the game less fun. You don't. It's one of the Jackbox games where you don't necessarily have to follow the rules, and it will still run. But overall, it's just not great. I'm also giving that a 4.
mm,
YDKJ full stream.
what's the difference between the other one?
This one's just a better party game, but honestly, it is pretty much just you don't know Jack again. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Split the Room is like a
Mm,
6 out of 10.
That's what? Come on.
Eh, it's not like super great. Its concept could have been expanded upon, I think. It's hypotheticals, but the most it is just yes or no questions. They could have done a lot more with the concept, I think, and really having a custom prompt mode in this game especially would have been really good. But there isn't one. Other than that, though, honestly, this one is probably one of the better games of Pack 5, which is a pretty mixed one. I don't think I'd say it's as good as Full Stream. Still really good, and honestly, yeah, Patently Stupid's a 10. I don't think anyone's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
argue about that. Yeah.
I
No
can't
one,
argue because I've
no
never
one.
played it.
Oh, you've never played Patently?
I really haven't.
Oh, we gotta get you to play
oh,
Patently. All right. Madverse is like a 6 as well.
Oh,
damn.
I'm biased on that one. I
I
love hip hop.
I
Absolutely love.
like hip hop. I don't like modern day rap though. All of
I
the
like
songs
old school
are
rap, but the
exactly the
thing
same.
is, the whole aesthetic of that is old school rap. So I'm biased, but
Yeah,
I would
that
put
is.
it at like a 7 or 8.
But yeah, I put it at a 6 really just because of the fact that it's
Seven?
one, you have to actually be good at writing raps to play this game, and not everyone is, myself included. I am not good at that. If you want to see
So
this game done a lot
myself,
better,
I have an advantage because I do that all the time.
I mean, this game done better is basically just Joke Boat. Like, these two games are very similar to one another. Actually, it's kind of scary. Um, but yeah, Madverse is like a 6 in my opinion. Also, the text to speech commonly messes up pronunciations of words. Whenever you try to say bow, it says bow. Whenever you try to say vase, it says vase,
Boss.
which can really mess up raps with things that are supposed to rhyme.
As someone that is
I mean, typically you sing
prevalent,
the raps.
as someone that knows what he's talking about when it comes to rap music, yeah, that could really fuck everything up
Yeah,
because rap
honestly.
is about pronunciation and
Oh, also,
pronunciation.
also, this was a thing that was brought to my attention in I think Silahawk's Jackbox 5 video. But there is a specific feature of this game that I also really don't like. In this
What?
game, I really don't like that it's an inclusion. Um, but you can upvote or downvote the raps, which there is always that one guy playing that constantly downvotes the raps because the game doesn't and hides behind the fact that the game doesn't tell you who's downvoting the raps, and that can lead to people thinking the raps are worse than they actually are. Steeple Dome's a 0 out of 10.
What? Oh, you're rude.
Yeah, I am, but I'm also right.
I'd at least give it a one.
So is it as good as Lice Water? That's something no one has ever said.
It's probably better than it.
No, no, it is not. This game is like
It is.
no, it's like Bouncy
Yeah.
Bob, but slightly better, maybe.
What's Bouncy Bob?
Terrible.
I hate,
Uh,
I hate to use this allegory, but this game, I played this game, and this game is like seeing your stillborn child. No one should have to go through it.
this game is terrible. No, 0 out of 10. Role models, on the other hand. Oh, hmm.
Oh God,
Oh,
role models.
where would
Oh
I
God,
put
I'd
this?
role
give it
Because
like
models.
a
Oh God, role models.
7 or 8.
Nah,
I
role
Like
models.
an
like
8.
I like role models. I don't know if I'd put I might put it in a 9, honestly. I really like role models.
Role models is a great icebreaker game. It's
Yeah,
also a great game to get to know people.
I think Fibbage enough. I think again, this game and Fibbage enough about you go hand in hand with one another because you get to know things about people and Fibbage enough about you, then you use that knowledge in role models.
Exactly.
It would be really good if these two games were in the same pack, but even if they're not, they still work really well together. And just getting to know people in games like this is really fun when playing them. I just really like those types of games. That's just me. Joke Boat's like a 6 as well.
Hmm.
No, I'm gonna give Joke Boat a 7.
What? Come on.
It's not
Yeah.
terrible, but honestly, Joke Boat is either really, really good or really, really bad.
It
What do you
depends on
mean?
who's playing it.
It totally depends on who you're playing it with.
Isn't that with multiple Jackbox
If
games?
you're playing it with some of the best comedians out there, it's going to be a really great time.
Yeah, but
If
if
you're
you're
playing
playing
it
it
with
with
some of the worst, not funny people ever, it's going to be a horrible time. It's all
yeah,
judged by how funny the people you're playing it with.
you see, here's the thing. And unlike a game like Quiplash, where it can pretty much be funny no matter what even if you're given a hard to answer prompt, this game is still a lot easier to be funny in than something like Joke Boat, where you have
Absolutely, I
like
agree with you.
classic joke setups, like a group of blank walk into a bar, or I like my sex like I like my. You're given basic joke setups and then have to finish them. And if
You're
you're not
given
good,
you're given basic setups, and you're supposed to write the punchline, and that
yeah.
all it,
And is
it's
that
all if
all?
you're good at writing punchlines or not.
With Quiplash, it's not as bad there since one, the prompts there's a lot of different prompts, unlike Joke Boat where there's not, and it's just a
It's
lot
not
easier to be
necessarily
funny. It's
just
just a
fine.
funnier game. Same with Survive the Internet, in my opinion. I just find those games to be easier to be funny, unlike something like Joke Boat. Also, this is not the game you want to be playing after a long night of playing Jackbox. You need to have energy for this game.
Why is that? I don't really I don't see why.
Well, honestly, if no one has energy, you have to actually get up there and tell the jokes. And if no one has energy,
Oh,
it just
right
leads to
about
a
that.
lifeless
You
experience.
physically have to get up out of your off your ass and tell the joke. So
Dictionarium, I said earlier today, is a 4 out of 10, and I honestly stand by that.
you stand by that, really?
Yeah,
Sure.
this game is kind of boring,
All right.
honestly.
I mean, I can respect that. I'd say it's lower, honestly.
I don't know if I'd say it's lower.
I think
Okay,
4 is
you
a
know
good
what?
spot
I
for it.
think 4 is good for
I think it's
Dictionarium.
on the same level of words.
You think a 3? Honestly, maybe it could be a 3. Like a 3 out of 10 game. I could put it at a 3 out of 10. I'm not a huge fan
Uh,
of Dictionarium. It is kind of boring, honestly. You make words, then you make definitions to those words. It sounds like an interesting concept, but it really isn't.
Its execution is the problem,
It's
not the
execution.
concept.
Yeah, also, I said this earlier, but the host sounds like a 50-year-old Southern woman from America trying to do a Mexican accent crossed with a Chinese accent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
that
is,
makes
there is
sense.
no better way I can describe it. Push the
And it's the
button
best
is a two.
description you will probably ever get for it.
Push
Push the
the
button's
button.
a two for you.
Push the button is just worse among us. There's so many things wrong with
Just
this
push.
game.
I don't like it.
There is
It's like the
so much
one
stuff
Jackbox
wrong with
game I
this
do
game,
not like.
and honestly, it just makes a mess. Yeah, I'm not. I don't like Whiplash 3. I never
The worst
have.
one.
Well, that's
I
my favorite aesthetically
okay, yeah, I can see
Whiplash
that.
game.
I can see that. I can see liking how it looks, but I have never liked this one. I have always preferred the other ones to this one, but it's still Quiplash ultimately. I'd put
I
it
say
on
5 to 6.
honestly. I'll put it on the same level as Espionage.
Yay.
I hate the Thriplash final round. Whenever you play it with an odd number of people, one person has to go up against a bot, and if that one person, unless that one person is just really unfunny, they will almost always win. The person in last place can win almost every time due to that. It leads to a. There are just so many issues with Quiplash 3, in my opinion, and especially if it's like a complete tie game, and one person goes up against the bot. Ooh boy, that's not good. Devils and the Details. I don't like Devils. Honestly, would I
That's not
say it's
good.
worse than Zeeple Dome?
It's like the only other one I do not like.
Yes, I will say it's worse than Zeeple Dome.
You
Yeah.
would say, would you? I would
Yeah,
say
I
it's.
mean,
I would say
Zeeple
it's
Dome is
not.
Zeeple
It's like
Dome is a
it's
mess.
better than Evil Dome, but it's not. It's not good at all either.
Yeah, Zeeple Dome is a complete mess, but Devils in the Details is a complete mess, and it's boring. It somehow manages to be both, and I don't know how.
The
That
only thing
The
I like
only
about
saving
it
grace
are
of Evil Dome is at least it's entertaining.
it is so frustrating that it is just no, it's really frustrating and no one wants to play it, but at least it has interesting music and interesting visual stuff. I'm not gonna say the visuals of Devils are bad, but have you seen this game being played? Unless you're when you're on the phone, there's different tasks and stuff, but nothing is going on on the actual screen. So it doesn't even have that going for it. I don't remember any of the music, and the gameplay somehow manages to be both boring and frustrating, and I don't know how that was even possible. But Champed Up is a 9.
yeah 9 or 10.
And honestly, I'd
Yeah,
say
no,
Talking,
I need to play that one.
yeah, Champed Up,
Bro,
Talking Points is like an 8. Blather Around is,
I would say
sure.
around eight too.
no, you know what we need to do? This is completely
What?
deserved.
No.
This is completely deserved.
What is completely deserved?
This is
No.
completely deserved. Just hold up.
No.
What is he?
Oh my gosh.
I
No.
hate this game. I hate this game
This game
so
is fun.
fucking
It's a
much.
fun game.
I
Okay,
hate Blather Around. I absolutely 100% worst Jackbox game. I've never played
You
Truffle
are
2.
racist.
That's
never
not
played it.
racist. I just
Nor
hate the
played
game.
now.
How is that racist?
Racist against me.
Against you. Art, I don't even know what your race is.
It's Blatherone. That's my race.
Well, how does that even work? I didn't even know that until 2 minutes ago. And either way, I still hate Blather Around.
Mm,
Worst game.
it's
It's its
fun.
own kind.
It's its own. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna put it in 0 out of 10. But I absolutely hate Blather Around. If I get started with Blather Around, the video will never end. So
You're
I
so
have never
wrong.
played Drawful 2, but you can be. You know
Same.
what?
You should have made it
Honestly,
fun for never played.
I should have, but I don't care enough to do so. So you can be a 2 out of 10 because you're Drawful 2.
Nice.
Drawful Animate is like also
That's pretty.
up there as one
That's
of the
pretty good.
best. I don't know. Would I put it in 9 or would I put it in 10?
I put it in like 7,
I honestly, I think it's either a
maybe like
9.
It's
six,
eight.
7 or
Eight
8.
for me.
I put it in either 9 or 10 just because Drawful is better than Drawful 1, which is an 8. By a pretty fair bit, honestly. Job's a 10.
That's a
I mean,
like yeah 10.
Job,
there's
yeah.
nothing else.
There's nothing else really like Job.
It's a
Coal
great
Mine,
concept, great execution.
I don't like Coal Mine.
What is that? What's full mine?
I don't think you've ever played it with us, but we played Coal Mine
No.
once and we never played it again. It is
It's
not
like
good,
one or something,
honestly.
two or
It is like
I
a
well,
complete.
I can't really take your opinion seriously most of the time.
Okay, but it is honestly, it's a kind of a luck-based game. You answer poll questions, and then it's you answer poll questions, and then have to select what won the polls or what lost the polls, or select multiple things in the same order, but it's like in decreasing order. So on the second, I can't really explain it. We'll have to play it sometime, but it is really just not fun. It's also a team-based game. That doesn't really matter,
doesn't
but
help
yeah.
any Jackbox game ever.
Well, actually, yeah, most of the team-based games aren't that great. Push the Button's a team-based game. Pole Mine's a team-based game. What other team-based games are there? I mean, Bomb Core is technically a team-based game, but not really. Devils is technically a team-based game, but also not really. Zeeple
Devil's not a
Dome is
team-based
technic.
game.
Well, Zeeple Dome, Devils, and Bomb Core are working together games, not really team-based. Where there's two different teams going against each other. Are there any other team-based games? No, I don't think there are. Civic Doodle? No. Racketeer? No. I don't think it. I think it's just those two. So yeah, honestly, the team-based games really aren't great. And even if you count Zeeple Dome, Devils, and Bomb Core is the only good one. So yeah. Weapons is a really interesting game that I think
What is
is
that?
worth a 7 out of 10, or like maybe a 6. I don't know.
I've never played it.
You should play it sometime,
Aren't we gonna play some games after this?
possibly.
Okay.
Weapons Drawn is one of the most complex Jackbox games, but I think it's also one of the best. Basically,
Is there a good
it's a
version?
murder mystery game where you have to find out who the murderer is by examining weapons that they killed with supposedly and comparing them to weapons that they used that were found outside. And the winner is based on who the best detective and the best murderer was, so you can be good at one but not the other. There and still do fairly well. But honestly, it's really just an interesting game, and I really like it. Wheel of Enormous Proportions is like a
I
5.
don't even know what that is.
It's not terrible, but it's
It's
not.
not terrible. It's not good. It's
It's
five.
it's a 5 out of 10. Honestly, it's just a pretty mixed bag. There's a lot of good things about it. I think the wheel as a character is really good. The aesthetic is good. The sound design is good.
What do you do in it?
It's a trivia game.
It's
Uh,
trivia mixed with
with the wheel spinning. My biggest
yeah.
problem is the wheel spinning. I one time played a game with Mirtzi in this server. If I guess if she has a channel, I can link her channel in the description too. Where I won. I had 20,000 points. I spun the winner's wheel 4 times. I missed it every single time. Mirtzi finally gets 20,000 points, spins it once, and then wins. So yeah, if you could get if you could get past that, it's a pretty alright game.
It's luck based. That's the problem.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything I would want to move around?
I would have put push the button at 0
I don't think
or
it's
at
that
least a
bad.
1.
I don't think it's that bad, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Is there like anything around the 7 or 8 area that I move? I will move Fibbage XL to a 7, just because Fibbage 2 and Fibbage 3
I
exist.
move role models to a 9.
Yeah, I can see that. I might do that too. You know what? Any S tier? I think
I
the
think
S
this
tier
is
games.
high.
The S tier games are definitely how I'd put them. Quiplash XL is probably better than Bombcore. There, I think that's more how I'd put it. I'll also put Survive the Internet above Bombcore. Champed Up, then Drawful Animate and Role Models, yeah. Yeah, I'll put role models above Drawful Animate. Fibbage 2, Drawful, Trivia Murder Party 2, Talking Points. Yeah, I'll put Talking Points above the TMP games. And yeah, I'll put Drawful above Fibbage. No. No, I won't. I will not put Drawful there. YDKJ 2015. Should I lower it to a 6 as well? I don't know. No, I'm not lowering that to a 6. Would I lower any of these to a 6?
There's a side note that I just thought of.
Yeah.
Imagine playing Madverse City with like some of the greatest rappers of all time.
Like who?
Like Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, like really big rappers
Yeah.
playing against
Yeah,
each
that
other.
would
That
that
would be
would
fucking incredible.
yeah. All right. So now I think we should add up the scores for each individual party pack. So for party pack 1, we have a 1 plus 3 plus. You know what, I'll give Zeepeldome a 1 out of 10 because at least it's sometimes entertaining with the sound design and the sound design and the looks of it all. These two games are in a league of their own. Yeah, Blather Round is
Pretty
oh
sure they
no
are.
no correction. Blather Round's in a league of its own. Devils is not good. Um, Madverse. No, that's not in pack 1. Fibbage XL. That's a 7. 1 plus 4 plus 7 plus 8.
How does this ranking work?
I'm just adding
How
up the
does this
scores.
point system
Plus
work?
7. That's 26 out of a possible 50. If there's 50 total points for each pack, because they can all technically be 10 out of 10. And yeah, I've never played Drawful 2 either, so yeah. So we got a 1 plus 3 plus 7 plus 8 plus 7. That's 26 out of 50. Party pack 2, we have 4 plus 5 plus. What other Party Pack 2 games are there? Plus 8 plus 9 plus 9. That's a 35 out of 10. Or not, 35 out of 50. Yeah. Party Pack 3, we have. What's the worst game? Oh yeah. 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 10 plus 10. That's 40 out of 50. I can agree with that. Party Pack 4, we have 10 plus 9 plus 7 plus 4. Actually, no, Monster Seeking Monster should be an 8. That's 8 plus 4 plus, where is plus 4? 35 out of 50. I think Party Pack 2 might be ranked higher than it. I'm not sure though. Hold up. I'm checking because I don't remember Party Pack 2's score. I think it might be a 36 though. I don't agree with that actually. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no, it's 9 plus 9 plus 5 plus 4 plus 8. So, no, it's exactly the same for Party Pack 2 and 4. That's kind of weird. I don't know if I agree with that. Party Pack 5, we have a 1 plus 6 plus 6 plus 10 plus whatever the other game Party Pack 5 was, I forgot. Oh, plus 7. 30 out of 50. think Earwax should be a 4 out of 10. Maybe. No, we'll keep it a 5 actually. Go at the bottom of 5 though. 6. Party back 6. We have a 2 plus 3 plus the other games. 9. I'm actually searching for these. Plus 8. 86. No, plus 8 plus 7. 29 out of 50. Jackbox 7. We have 0 plus 0. But that's not good. Where are the other games from Jackbox 7? Talking points. 8 plus 9 plus. What was the other one? Oh, yeah. 5. 22 out of 50. Well, no one's going to agree with me on that, but yeah, I don't really like Jackbox 7 too much. It's got these 2 games. They are good. Alright. Jackbox 8. It's got 2 plus 5 plus 10 plus 9 plus what was the other one? Where is the other game? Oh, I just went out of it. 3 or 2 plus 5 plus 10 plus weapons drawn. That's 7 and draw whole animate, which was a 9. 33 out of 50. So you know what? All right, here we go. So how were they ranked? How they were ranked, I think, was Jackbox 3 was at the top, followed by 4, followed by 2, followed by 8, then 5, then 1, or no, then 6, then 1, then 7. Which honestly, I think I agree with that. I agree with that actually. The packs are yeah. So that's the Jackbox tier list. That's pretty neato. Yeah. Alright, everybody, goodbye. This has been a 53-minute video to start off the new year. Except it's actually my second video of the new year. Okay, bye.